member
They are.
to be
Yeah.
engaged.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's been, I guess, important to me that I've been able to be there and be helpful, and my knowledge as a physician has been particularly useful in helping her, or guiding her through these kind of procedures and these medical issues. So.
It's very positive. So I never felt like I was in danger. I always felt that I'd come out of it and everything would be fine. And that's the attitude he has.
Well, what are some of the best experiences that you've shared together?
Well, let me just say, Judy as a person is a very intelligent person. She is a voracious reader of every imaginable genre. And so in terms of just our ongoing experience together, it's been just very enjoyable to have her talk about what she's reading, or bits here and there from articles she'll read out loud. So there's this kind of constant kind of input of interesting, things, you might say, in a general sense, that she's always kind of putting out there. I think the other thing is she's a person that really loves music, is a musician, teaches music, and that's like a whole other wondrous dimension that she brings into the relationship that is, again, glorious to be able to participate. Again, I said, well, she makes the plans and I sort of go along, so we've gone to, I don't know how many concerts and this and that, plays, of course, and other kinds of presentations like that. But here in the house with her teaching, it's also a wondrous experience, because now, fortunately, I can work at home, and my office is immediately above her teaching room. So I can hear her working with the students and the students playing, and the notes sort of waft up in the air and right through the room, and I can listen to our students, I listen to her playing. And in fact, that has been a very enjoyable part of my experience with her. I can't emphasize its importance. Once I was upstairs lying in her other house in the bedroom, that's already she was in the basement, her studio, and I was up in the bedroom, lying there trying to take a nap, but I was listening to the music, and I said, if there is a place like heaven, it must be kind of like this in terms of the music just sort of floating, and just sort of you're kind of floating in that milieu. So that's been just wondrous, and I think Judy just has a very strong love of kids, and it just shows when she greets the kids, she interacts with them. It's just a wonderful kind of thing to see, and of course I'm a bystander, but I feel like a participant in it too, so it's a lot of fun. So it's kind of like not some major event, so to speak, although our wedding was a great wedding, it's still the best one I've ever been to in my life.
Because of the dancing.
Because of the dancing. I did the bottle dance. But it's been, again, things like this in terms of the day-to-day, week-to-week kind of experiences that have, I think, made for these, kind of wondrous moments.
And Marvin's very musical. When I met him, he was taking voice lessons from the cantor, and he had to do recitals. We'd have to sing this classical, voice operatic music, and then I accompanied him. So that was kind of fun when we first met, to do that together. And so he's very musical, so is his mother. His mother's musical. And he started lessons when he was 4, inadvertently, because his brother would run away from the music teacher. But Marvin was very docile, and he liked, he liked that. So and he plays an accordion, yeah. He's really a natural musician. And my students really take to him too, and my grandchildren, they're crazy about him. he gets right down it, because I can't physically, roll balls until when I had all this surgery. He would get out there and do everything with the kids. And my piano students like him too. He's been adopted as a grandfather of one of my students, her grandfather's in India. But he represented her, she invited him to school to participate, so yeah, they're very attached to him too, my students. It's wonderful.
You enjoy sharing a lot of activities together. What are some of them that are really a key part of your life?
I guess dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, we love to do Israeli dancing. And it was very interesting. Judy, when we were dating, started going to dance workshops, and I think maybe it was the first year, even the second year after we started dating, she announced at Christmas time she was going to go to Florida. They were having a dance workshop in Florida, and that if I wanted to come, fine. If I didn't want to come, that was okay. So
and my sister-in-law is an Israeli folk dancer, and she's in Florida. So actually, she and Marvin danced in high school.
So I said, what the hell am I going to do here in Atlanta in the wintertime? And here's Judy's not going to be in town. So I said, okay, I'll come to the dance workshop. So I went down there, and it was in a hotel, and very nice. And I brought all these books and things, and I sat in a chair on the side, and I was kind of reading books, and then I would watch. The woman who was running was very nice. She didn't ask me to pay anything for sitting there. So I went in and I watched Judy dancing, and they'd have these wonderful choreographers from Israel come, and the music was really fantastic. But I didn't even dance the first year, and I think the same thing happened the second year. And I went, of course, it was nice when we went the first time, but the second time I started getting up a little bit, trying to move around. So it was a sort of gradual. And finally, I think the third year, I said, this is ridiculous. Just sort of leap in, and sort of been dancing ever since then. It's just,
That's how many years? 20?
It's about, maybe about 15 or 16 years. And the music's wonderful. I can go so tired, and I'll start dancing, and it's like this.
And now Marvin speaks
Rebooting.
Hebrew because he started studying Hebrew, because a lot of the dancers we danced with are from Israel. So he could talk to them, he could understand the words and the music that we were dancing to. And he's very fluent now. So I'm impressed. I'm starting to do the program.
Judy's been out of the loop a little bit because of her
back,
surgery,
yeah.
but she's just started back dancing.
I
We've been
danced last
able
week.
to come to the weekly sessions, so it's been great. Her getting back re-engaged.
Yeah, I think we have a video of us dancing on his 75th birthday. They had
I need that one.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that one I need.
Yeah.
That one, I don't think you've given me, so
I'll email it to you.
I'd like to have that.
Very, very
So
moving.
your lives and your activities have become very much intertwined. What have you learned from each other?
I've learned to be patient. And Marvin's very patient. He's very, I've tried to think of him first, because he seems to have this philosophy that my sons have, to have a happy wife, to have a happy life, you have to have a happy wife. So, like that. And so he's very agreeable to anything and offers, and so I think it's expanded my ability to try to empathize with.
I think it's a good model in terms of for helping make a relationship work in a maximal kind of way. Although, of course, for whatever reason, we don't seem to have any major clashes or differences in terms of our perspectives. So I'm sure that helps a great deal. But I also like that saying, it takes the company of men to know how to be a man, but it takes the company of a woman to feel like a man. And I think that really that epitomizes kind of my experience with Judy, that because of all these things or characteristics I've talked about, I think that she just makes life at a really different plane than just the, the usual kinds of things. So I feel like I've been able to really be more in the stratosphere of life. I feel very blessed and fortunate in terms of being able to have had this kind of experience in my life. So it's been really pretty incredible.
Who wants